If there's anything better than an espresso, it's probably gonna be one fuck on a stick espresso. And triple the pleasure too if you're doing it while you're on vacation. Gotta love being able to chill around the house and just doing a sweet Fanny Adams. You put the acronym together and then you figured that out. Welcome to another edition of the Wandering Yuki Cheese Cafe, where we cover cooking, grilling, renos, microbrews, and a whole lot of bad jokes all together. Yep, you could always subscribe to the channel because I'm always making some new videos. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of grilling, I've been doing a lot of home projects, and I know sometimes for some of you who aren't really big on setting stuff on fire on the barbecue, you think, is there anything we could do in the oven or inside? And I thought, even on this good day, I'm gonna prepare something nice. I have some pork tenderloin that was thawing out, and the last couple of days I was asking myself, how am I gonna do something different with this? Then randomly I just asked myself today, can you bread this stuff? And then one search, you get a really good recipe for it, and I thought, this is actually a pretty good recipe that I can cover today. So I'm gonna do that for you. It's quick, easy to put together, and then it takes maybe an hour to cook or so. So without further ado, let's get started. Well, the first thing I'm going to be taking care of with this is making my liquid I'm going to need to get this all breaded up. So to do that, you're going to need 2 ingredients basically. 2 eggs that you just crack into here, and hopefully this egg doesn't run away. I hate when they don't break right away. 1, and then you could do number 2. Once your eggs are in, you are going to need to put about 1/4 cup of milk. Any kind of milk is going to be good. I'm using 1% just because I'm so used to using this for my stuff, and it's a good all-arounder. Some that's partly skimmed with a bit of fat, but not too fatty as well. First, I got some egg on these fingers. I'm going to have to be right back and wash it up before I show this off. Okay, I'm washed up and I'm back. Sometimes I gotta plan my stuff better. I should have done the milk first. So like I said, you do about 1/4 cup of milk. Then you mix it in. Then you just beat it until it's all blended in together. And then you can just keep this aside in the fridge. Yeah, this is almost like when you're making an omelet for yourself in the morning. You want to have that for breakfast. I guess the big difference here is that instead of, unlike with an omelet, you're probably just going to be doing a small pinch of milk to blend it in. Whereas this, you're going to get a little bit more liquefied. It's not going to matter too much once it's all combined together. There. So you know you have a good consistency then, if you have it like a very yellowish texture, like very continuous. Then once that's done, I'm going to keep that aside and I'm going to put together my breading. Once you have that aside, you can grab yourself a smaller mixing bowl to put together all of your dry seasoning here. So first thing I'm going to need are some breadcrumbs. I only have plain ones because they're very versatile and I can dress them up however I want. Thing is though that there's this recipe I found says you should use Italian style breadcrumbs. What makes it Italian? I guess it's because it has like oregano, it has basil, Romano cheese, and some other stuff there. I'm sure if you wanted Italian breading, then you could probably dress it up yourself. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Once you're done with that, you need about 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. So there you go. Essence of Italy is added in there. And I guess essence of Greece for that matter. Because I keep being told that if it ain't got oregano in there, it ain't Greek style. Probably makes a difference, somehow. So 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Yep, so now you know, I know how to count. After you're done with that, what's it say? A pinch of garlic salt. And garlic salt is coming up a lot in my recipes these days, but I don't use it enough and I don't see myself using it enough to justify it. So I'm going to do the next best thing. I'm just going to do like a pinch of garlic powder. Just like that. That's like maybe around somewhere between 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon. You're fine like that. And Add some salt and pepper to give it a taste. There we go. The next thing is you just mix it all together. Just want to make sure that all your seasonings are blended in. Then once that's done, we're going to get to the main part of our dish, the pork tenderloin. Because without that, you basically just got yourself some breading and a milk batter. Not much you could do with that. Well, maybe you could make something out of that, but then we're getting into mad scientist territory with it. So let's just mix this up, and then we'll get our pork tenderloin set. Once you have that all aside, we're going to be getting to the pork tenderloin, like I said. This one calls for, like, I'd say 1.5 pounds from what I've seen. But I think if you have 2 tenderloins like this, and it's 2 pounds worth, then you're fine. I don't think it's at the end of the world. Because apparently you will get some extra batter and breading with it. So you'll want to cut this into like 1/4-inch slices. This one looks like it's still been thawing out and it's still kind of frozen, but I'm actually okay with that. Because I've learned that when you have meat a little bit frozen, it's actually a little easier to slice up. Not to say that I'm struggling too much with it, because right now I'm using a bread knife to slice this. All my other knives don't seem to have the same bite when it gets into meat. And I found from experience that this does much better for me. So you just keep going with that. And then once you're done slicing all of these, you can keep them aside on a small sheet of plastic wrap. The plastic wrap is already set up, it's just off camera. Get this oven preheated as well. So once you have all of your slices of pork on the plastic wrap, just grab another sheet of plastic, lay it on top, and then you just have to apparently pound it to kind of flatten up a little bit. Fortunately, I don't really have a meat pounder or a meat mallet, so I'm just going to be using my bare hands with this. Oops, got one that's sticking out here. And you just kind of want to get this in somewhat thin pieces. That way it'll cook a little bit better. There. Slightly pounded, looking good. Time to get the rest started. So while you're waiting for your oven to preheat, you can do a little bit more prep work to get this done. Grab yourself a 9x13 square pan. It's a square pan despite the fact it looks like an oval to me. Line up with aluminum foil, and then you're going to need to get one large skillet here, because with a lot of meats, your best way of getting this prepared is if you sear it up before you start doing the full-on cooking. So, my recipe showed putting in some vegetable oil in here, but instead, I'm just going to use some basic canola oil. I haven't used this in a little while, so I kind of want to empty out a little bit and just not let it go to waste. You need about 1 tablespoon, but we're going to do a little bit more just in case. Then once that's done, set this thing to medium-high heat. And then once it's getting hot enough, you can start adding in your pork. Basically what you want to do is that you want to take each slice of pork, dip it into the milk egg batter, then bread it up, and then throw it in, and you want to brown it on each side. But not too much, because the thing is that you want it to just brown so it cooks better. You'll get a crisp edge, but all the juice will be kept in the meat. You don't want to overcook this thing. That's where the oven comes into play. So let's get started. Now I've got all my pieces of pork in the pan over here. There's going to be a little bit of leftover egg and breading. So what you could do so it doesn't go to waste, just add the egg in here. Then you can throw the rest of the breading in. That way you can have some extra breading. So first you're going to have to mix it up. And then you just toss it into the pan too, which will give it a little bit of extra moisture. Or I guess like omelet pieces in it too. All well and good. And then once that's done, we'll get it into the oven. Ooh, it's like having an omelet for lunch. Not that it's out of the ordinary, because people do have omelets any time of the day. It's not just a breakfast meal. Okay, that's as good as the bread's gonna look. Let's get this off the heat and get these into the pan. Yeah, it definitely looks super delicious. Very nice. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna want to seal this up too. Just get some aluminum foil so it's nice and tight. Keep the moisture in here. And of course that's a little trick too when you're cooking. When things are covered up in a dish, you keep the heat within the dish, and then that way it's gonna cook a lot faster than if you cook it uncovered. Okay, this is tight. Get it into the oven, and it'll take you maybe around 45 minutes. Set that up. There. So 45 minutes later, this thing is going to be done, which gives me more than ample time to get this place cleaned up. I'm going to get to this, and then we'll be right back, check on the progress, probably by the end, and then hopefully a taste test, and then fingers crossed, things don't mess up. I always feel like something's going to go bad. Exploding pork. Actually, that's not even a bad thing. Exploding pork sounds delicious. Alright, 45 minutes is up. We've got the gloves on. Let's have a good quick look and see how this turned out. Ooh, the smell is nice, especially out of regular pig meat. Not bad. Here we are, everyone. We got some breaded pork cutlets over here. They're looking good, and they didn't stick as much as I was afraid it was going to be. So I'm actually excited for this. But obviously it's too early for my supper right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a quick taste test, a small piece, find out how this turned out. I just need to find a very small one, like right here. Breading's pretty good, except I was just chewing on some fat. Now I need to find some hog. Yep, really tasty stuff. This actually pretty simple to put together. Doesn't take too long. Easy to make, and you can do it all year round. Very satisfying. Yeah, I kind of wanted to show off my meal when I was munching on some of that breaded pork, but I got sidetracked with a plumbing-related thing in my house again. You know, they always say that it's easy to replace a fixture, but the toughest part is always removing the old one, because you never know how it was installed. It could be old like a brass nut, they might have glued the thing because they're stupid, who knows. But, you know, I got to enjoy it, made some progress. I'm enjoying a little bit of fuel right now. Just in case you're wondering what the fuel is, it's just a Trois Mousquetaires White IPA. I'm pretty sure I've highlighted this one in the past too, so can't remember where, and I probably don't want to go back to all my old videos to find out about that. So now I'm just going to be taking it easy here and enjoying the sun, because I realized I've been so tied up in stuff indoors that I almost forgot that I needed to work on my tan. Not that I need to work on a tan, depending on who you ask, because I'm tan enough to begin with. But you know what? It's beginning of August already. Just want to enjoy whatever we have left of summer. So, thanks for watching this edition of the Wananuki Cheese Cafe. And if you like what you see, you can just hit that subscribe button below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed my little escapades. And share this with anyone you think would enjoy it. Especially those who enjoy cooking, who enjoy beer, and especially bad jokes. Ciao, everyone.